Baby plays nice.
Welcome everyone to Winning in the Shadows. Andy and Jim here. We're going to do our weekly bankroll recap, and then we got our free surprise for everybody. It will take a little bit of explanation, but I will go slow, and I
Very.
really truly believe it is going to change the way you guys look at gambling and wagering. So we'll wait just a minute or two to get everybody in here because we're doing this live. But I want to make sure everybody is caught up. So, a couple of housekeeping things. We're recording this on a Monday. $5 Monday is up at Wager Talk. We've got our Dana White Contender Series play. That is up. And then they're going to be running some football specials pretty soon. So, I think starting tomorrow, you can get some football specials. So, we'll start cranking out football, NFL and college football content. One thing we're going to be doing a survivor pool league for Winning in the Shadows. So how that's going to work is we're going to do a video each week. You just put your pick for the week in the description of the YouTube video, and then we'll organize it from there. But we're also going to be doing ongoing survivor strategies throughout the season. Like, for example, we're going to track what happens if you would just play the biggest favorite of the week. Obviously, like if you use the Chiefs, they're like 15-point favorites. Then the next week they're another big favorite. Then you just go below that. We're gonna track a bunch of different strategies, but we're gonna do our own. So, yeah. What's up, Vito? What's up, Justin? What's up, Rich? Thanks very much here. So, all right. Let's go ahead and start and get into it here. So what are we going over tonight? It's the weekly bankroll recap and then the free surprise. So Jim is just Jim was out of town, off the grid for a few days. Like you
Yeah.
were saying, Jim, you were like, once you get into service, your phone just
Influx.
erupts.
Our Discord, I had about 250 messages from the Discord come in and
Yeah,
work phone calls and trying to get caught up in the world of sport of what happened over
yeah,
2 days. A lot.
because you didn't even get a chance to see the UFC or see Kyle Barallo or
We had nothing. I had absolutely no connection to anything that happened except my bankroll once I hit service and I was quite. That's it.
you didn't get to see the striking Kyle Barallo.
No. I'm excited to go back and watch it actually.
It was in the moment. It was like you were like, "Is he just setting it up for the takedown?" And then by the third round, you were like, "Nope." He booked this fight against Jared Cannonier specifically to get 5 rounds of punching in. So
Well, the interesting thing I said to you is people were in an uproar about it, saying, you got to fade him in the future, bad strategy, blah, 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 blah. Look, that guy gets a striking game. That division is on notice.
oh, look out. I mean,
Yeah.
look out.
Mhm.
Like,
Yep.
I know. I mean, we had a 5% play involving Kyle Barallo, so that cashed. But I got to tell you, the only thing I was worried about was his cardio was striking, and then once it got to round 4, you were like, "Oh yeah, he's fine. He's fine. He's actually winning this thing." So, no, it's not fade Kyle Barallo time just yet. So,
No.
all right, let's do the recap here real quick for last week. 9 straight profitable weeks, and we just keep lowering the volume because we just know that regression is coming. So, how do you get out in front of regression? If you're on a hot streak and you're like, okay, I know I can't keep up these winning percentages. This is like ridiculous. So what do is you just lower the volume. That way, if you do have a bad week, instead of going 4-13, you go like 2-5. So we have 7 plays. This is the complete opposite of high volume. But look what happens. We go 5-2 plus 12.68 units for a 57.6% ROI. 9 straight profitable weeks, which I have never done in my career. Like this doesn't happen. 9 straight profitable weeks doesn't happen. Maybe 10. Maybe 10 we can get to. So MMA went 3-1 plus 8.8 units. Corbin came out of the gate strong for EPL. Season soccer goes 2-0 plus 7 units. We lose the cross-sport parlay thanks to Scotty Scheffler. It's hard to nitpick. So here was the thing. I went with Scotty Scheffler top 10 instead of our standard Xander Schauffele top 20. They really juiced Schauffele top 20. And so if I were to put him in that play and take Scheffler out, yeah, I would have cashed, but the line would have been like minus 210. And that was just kind
Mhm.
of
Yeah.
not really, not really what we were looking for. We only had one Formula One parlay piece. That was in the cross sport parlay, but I'm kind of glad we stayed away from Formula One. There was some wonkiness. I did not have Lando Norris winning by 22 seconds
Nope.
on my bingo card. So, what does 2024 look like for us? 401 wins, 259 losses, 60.8%. We're up 138.4 units with a
Boom.
nine with a 9.1% ROI.
Double boom.
That is spectacular, absolutely spectacular. So, yeah, you have to go back to June before we had a losing week. So, please, if you guys haven't liked and subscribed to the YouTube channel,
Yeah.
what are you
What
doing
more do you
here?
want? Yeah. What
Yeah.
do you-
Join the Discord channel. We're going to put up something free in the Discord channel here in just a bit that everyone has access to. There's a link in the description. So you guys should be able to get that. And, of course, this week's special, the $5 play, Monday only, Dana White Contender Series. The Contender Series breakdown video is up on the Winning in the Shadow YouTube channel, which we're on right now. And I gotta give some shout outs here.
Hey,
The PFL department. Jim, good Lord, man. What a season
it's been a good one, man.
in PFL. Like the next card is gonna be tough. Like I think
One play.
I that's
One play.
yeah.
We're gonna find one play.
Yep.
They,
Yep.
they still have to announce all the undercards. We know what the finals
Well,
are.
that's true.
Right.
That's
So,
true.
like, if Ray Cooper the third gets a fight against somebody,
Fat
anybody,
Gene.
um, so the thing I'm more proud of with PFL is not what we bet on, what we didn't bet on. Like especially this week, there was like there was maybe one play that would have hit the over in the main event. We were looking at using and never really got something done before I went away and just decided not to force it. And I mean, just landmine after landmine after landmine. We cash our play with a fighter who just knocked a guy out and it goes to decision. I mean, everyone and their mother is on the finish.
Yep.
Our Olmatov play, he doesn't win by finish against the Gracie.
Yeah.
Like these are plays that murder bankrolls.
Yes.
Absolutely murder bankrolls. And we have played PFL perfect this year. Not record wise, but about as perfect as you can get avoiding getting killed on a Friday night before the weekend in PFL.
I agree.
Thank you.
I agree completely. Yeah, yeah, you deserve it. The cricket department.
A new addition.
I did not know we would have a cricket department in the Discord. They are killing it. They are killing it in cricket. So shout out to all you guys there. And yes, awesome group of people, and they know their stuff. I am sold on our cricket department. So all departments are firing on all cylinders right now. So going into football season with college football and NFL, it's going to be interesting. We talked about the dog days of summer and how profitable the summer could be, and I almost don't want it to end. I'm almost a little nervous. We're going into the fall.
Yeah.
I'm like, do we need these other sports? do we really need it? But yes, we will.
We need football. We need football. If we take what we learned this summer and apply it, again, I think I said this on the last video. It's the overall strategy, guys. It's not the sport. And again, like cricket, sure, add it. If it's winning,
Yeah.
I don't care. Table tennis, sure. If it's winning, add it. Don't care what it is. So
Absolutely.
if we take that into football and just use restraint and discipline, then I think we'll be good to go.
I agree. So, all right, time to come to the free surprise for everybody. Normally, spreadsheets are not sexy and exciting. In fact, they're never sexy and exciting, but they are very important. So, one of our I don't want to say who because I don't want them bombarded with questions.
Mhm.
Someone has designed this very intricate spreadsheet and has given it to Winning in the Shadows for everybody to track all of their plays. And I cannot tell you the power of being able to track your own plays and having a detailed spreadsheet. I have a big advantage because at Wager Talk I can track every single play and every single parameter. This is going to change the way that you guys
Yes.
track your bets. You have to have a way to see what's working and what's not working. And this is one of the best spreadsheets that I have seen. So here's what's going to happen. I have not put this link into Discord for a reason. I don't want you guys clicking on it while we're doing this video and then just trying to fly through it and not listening. So I'm going to go over how to set up this spreadsheet.
Mm-hmm.
Then the link is going to go in the Discord, and you guys have your own spreadsheet that you can track everything. So, all right. I will tell you this. Read the instructions.
Don't be a guy.
The instructions are all laid out perfectly. I have set this up myself. I've messed with it the last couple days. Everything you need to know about this spreadsheet is literally on this spreadsheet. So if you're struggling with something, you can figure it out. So here's what we will do. I will walk you through how to set up this spreadsheet. Step 1, create a copy of this for your own use. Go to File, then Make a Copy, save it to your Google Drive. So we're going to go to File, we're going to go to Make a Copy, and you can name this Andy's Spreadsheet Bet Tracker. The folder is you're just going to save it to your Google Drive, and then you're going to click Make a Copy. So now, this copy is your own spreadsheet, okay? So I'm going to go back to the original. Why? Because we're following the instructions. Don't be a guy. That's a great point. All right. Go to Settings, Worksheet, and input the names of the books you currently use along with the sports you plan to bet on. We recommend you don't change the bet types off the bat unless you know what you're doing. Okay, so we go to Settings. This person was gracious enough to already put in all of these fields. So if you are at a state where you have DraftKings, FanDuel, Bet365, MGM, all of these are already put in there. You can go in there. If you don't have Pinnacle, like we don't have Pinnacle Estates, but let's say you've got like some other generic book, you can change the name to it. You can add, we'll just say my book. You can add any book. So this is important. Put all of the books that you have in the bookmakers field, okay? You don't need to worry about the credit facility column. You don't need that. In sports and leagues, they've done a great job. They put pretty much everything in here. They've separated all the soccer leagues. If you want, you can delete all these and just put soccer. They left tons of field to where if you're betting table tennis, you can just put in table tennis. But make sure you put all of the sports in. If you start betting on another sport later this year, make sure you go put it in the sports and the leagues. That way the spreadsheet tracks it. But this is all these columns you can adjust. Bet types. He's even got it to where you could put money line, the spread, alt line, total, teaser, 2-leg parlays, 3-leg parlays, same game parlays, futures, anything you want is in here in bet types. If you have something that you want to add, by all means, like if you, let's see, I'm trying to think. If you're a big, there's a teaser in there, but if you do a lot of NFL teasers and you just want to see what's a specific NFL teaser, you can do this. All right. So, very important that you go in order and you go to the, you have to get all of this taken care of before it can start tracking all your bets. So you put all the books in, you put all the sports and leagues that you bet, you have the bet types. He's even got it set up to where you can put which handicapper you got it from, or if it's your own bet. So if you have a live bet from Takedown Live, put that in there. If you, if it's your bet, you could. He's got my bets. I've got mine. You've got Discord. You can put anything you want. If you want to track Jim's plays, You can put that in here.
Yeah,
Again,
you keep tabs on me, all of you.
well, he's got this set
I'm
up to where
serious.
you can filter out anything and look at anything.
Mhm.
So again, if you want to just track who you're getting plays from and how they're doing, you can do that. Filters. He's got the percentages here. 1%, 2%, 3%, anything you want. Again, if you want to add in, if for some reason you have a 10% play that you just absolutely have to play, you can add it in there. So, again, when we go back to step 2, you go to the settings part of the worksheet. You put the books in, you put the sports and the leagues. You already have the bet type. You should be good here. You have the different cappers, and you have the custom filter for the percentages. Make sure you get all of this set up before moving to step 3. All right, step 3. Go to the deposits worksheet and input your bookmaker account balances into the deposits and withdrawals if you want to track that. We absolutely want to track that. Have to. So we go to the deposits here. So the date is optional. I would just put the date if you're starting, like we'll start 26th of August, 2024. All right. Agency. If you got a DraftKings account, you just click on DraftKings. And if you've got $500, you put $500 in there.
Mhm.
Whatever your balance is right now, you put that in there. If you have futures or bets pending, do not put those as part of the balance. I will show you what to do with those. If here's a way to, oops, here we go. You can just copy and paste if you're going from one line to the other. So if you've got, you can put the dates here on the different ones. Again, this is why it's really important that you have to put all the books that you have in first. That way you can go through and you can put all of your balances in there. So if you got a FanDuel account, you got $1,000 in there. Boom. Okay. Does that make sense to Jim? Does that make sense?
If it makes sense to me, it should make sense to everybody.
Okay.
Jim's got this. You guys better be able to get it. All right.
Yes. He has bonus bets, free bets, and bonus credit for tonight. Don't worry about it. Forget it. This is very intricate spreadsheet. It will take time. Go slow when you're putting all of this stuff in. You do not want to get confused. Okay, so now we have all of our deposits. I have not messed with any withdrawals yet, but if you want to make a withdrawal, you can put it in there, but we will get to that later. For now, just put your bankroll in there. All right. Step 4. Remember, we go in order. We don't click to the other tabs if we're halfway through step 3, all right? You can see why I didn't put the link in Discord yet.
Yeah.
Everyone would be just going everywhere.
You
All right.
what he's saying.
Step 4, go to the bets worksheet. Look at the sample data to see how to input your own stuff. Then highlight the stuff and delete. Okay. So we go to bets. Come on now. All right, this is where you put in all your bets. So what he has done is he put some sample bets in here so we can kind of see how it works. So he put some. So he put like March 3rd, DraftKings, NFL, Colts plus 3.5. I love that there's a Colts plus 3.5 in March. Bet type was a spread. This came from me. I don't know why I'm giving out Colts plus 3.5 in March, but it was a great play because it won. So let's just, those are the examples, but I'll just go through here and we'll pretend like we put in a play tonight so you can kind of see how it works. Okay. So we got to put the date. We will say we are on FanDuel. Let's just say we have a, you know what, tennis is going on right now. He even put ATP and WTA so you could separate between men's and women's tennis. All right, let's just say we'll just make up a guy. Fees, we'll just say minus 150. These are not real bets.
Do not open your sport
Do
books
not
now.
open your sports book and start to play this. Versus, we'll just make up Outcrass. Okay, so that's what the actual bet is. Okay, what bet type is it? This is a money line bet because we're just betting basic thing. So we put money line. If this was a parlay, you could just say plus, let's see, Djokovic over. For some reason, he's playing a female. But now we know that is a two-leg parlay. Okay? All right. If you want to put the price in this field, it's fine. You don't have to, and I'll show you why. But if you do want to put that price in the field, you can. So we got a two-leg parlay. All right. Who gave this one out? We'll say that we saw it in the Discord. Okay? Whatever the rating is, 2%. This was not a live bet, so we don't need to worry about that. So again, we've got the date, we've got the book, we got the league, we got the play, we got what bet type it is, we know where we got it, we know what percentage it is. Stake. This is how much you bet on it, okay? So let's say we bet it at $100, okay? So we put $100 in there. When we go to odds, if this is a minus like 120 play, you just type minus 120 and you're done. If this is a plus 120, all you do is leave the minus sign off. That is now a plus 120 play. He's got the setup for the U.S. odds. So again, to recap, we put the date, we put the bookmaker, we put the league, we put the play, we put the bet type, we put where we got it. We put the percentage, not a live bet. We put how much we bet on it. We put the odds, and it goes into the pending plays. It is already tracking your play for you. This is the win column. Put P for pending. Once the bet is over, if it loses, you just hit N for no, and bang, you see the negative. If it wins, bang, we see the positive on that. So that is how you set up a play. It is as simple as that, okay? Once you understand this, you can just go delete all the different examples that he put in there. Before you do that, though, before you go and delete all of this, we're going to go to step 5. Once each bet is completed, go back and update the bets worksheet accordingly. Okay. Let's go to available funds. You can see we have all of our books. It says we put 500 and 1,000 into FanDuel. We did that earlier with our deposits. It has the concluded wagers. These are wagers that have been graded, our winnings. And you can see we've got a pending bet that we put in FanDuel. That was the play we just put in, and it's got all of our available funds, our pending bets, how much we've won, and how much our deposit is. So you can start comparing all of your numbers, and you can see how much you have pending. You can see how many bets are open. Everything is here in your available funds. Now, this is where it gets very exciting and very important. We go to performance summary. This can be very, very overwhelming, but this is the key to knowing how to track what's working and what is not working. All right. If you remember, if we go to the bets tab, we have a couple bets on March 3rd. We have one on the 4th and one on the 5th, okay? Let's grade this play on the 3rd as a loser. So we have a winner, a loser. On the 4th, we won, and on the 5th, we won. Let's go to the performance summary, and let's put the dates, because we want to see how we did between March 3rd and March 5th. We want to know on all sports, and we want to know all the bet types. Okay. We had 4 wins out of 5 bets for an 80% win rate, and you see all your numbers there in the different leagues, just in the March 3rd and March 5th. Now, I do believe, if we go to our bets tab, we had 2 money lines. So we can ask spreadsheet how we did just on money lines.
That's great. This is great. This is huge. Because
Yeah.
sometimes you don't see when stuff isn't working,
You
right?
you
This
you
is kind
miss
of what we're getting.
everything. You miss everything. You could even say, how was Andy? How was I?
The better question.
And then you can say, how are my 2% plays? How are my 3% plays? This is all this is all available just in this one spreadsheet. The amount of time that went into making this is truly astronomical. So I do not want to overload everybody with too much information. The key with this spreadsheet is to just import all of your plays. Take the time to do it. You cannot not put plays in. Or if you have a losing play, you go delete it. Throws your numbers off. Or like, oh, I got hammered at night and I threw in some stupid bet. I'm too embarrassed about that. I don't want to put it in there. You got to put it in there. Why? Because it's going to stare you in the face.
Exactly.
And
The easy live bet after round 3 is going to just be right in your face.
yes. So, I mean, even if you really wanted to, you could even go in there. What kind of bet was it? That was a dumb drunk bet. You can track your dumb drunk bets because we've all done them. Some of us this week. So, reiterate. I'm going to put a link in Discord. You click on it and start with step 1 and go through it slow. If you skip steps, I promise you, your spreadsheet will be a disaster and it will not be set up right. So go through it very, very slow and very, very carefully and don't miss a step. If you don't get it set up right at the beginning, it's going to be wrong for the entire time. Once it's going to seem a little overwhelming at first. I promise you. If you're not familiar with spreadsheets, you're going to feel overwhelmed. Once you get going with it, it won't take you more than 5 or 10 minutes before you will absolutely figure it out. But again, go slow. Take your time. Do not rush through this when you're setting it up and when you're putting in your bets. Everything is on here. And again, if you have any questions, it's probably answered in this spreadsheet. So, once you understand how the bets are done, you can go ahead and delete all the samples off and start putting in your own bets. I did mine from the time I started with step 1 to the time I got done. It took me an hour, and I have a lot of future bets.
Yeah, and he's gonna have way more input. Like he's got way more to put in than all of us would.
Yes, probably. Yes, probably. Especially since Corbin's soccer futures he put out. That was probably 40 minutes of the. So, yeah. So that's all I'm going to show you for tonight because that's all I want you guys to do with the spreadsheet. Just get the basics down, and then you will start being able to really dissect what's working for you and what's not working for you. This is like this will absolutely change the way you look at your bankroll and look at your bets. When you can honestly see all the numbers in here, you're going to look at your bankroll and you're going to look at your betting strategy absolutely completely different. I promise you. So No, Corbin, you don't be sorry for the soccer futures. I'm just just
Stop it.
giving you giving you some
Ribbing there.
grief.
Little rib there, buddy.
Yeah. Okay, so I'm sure when you guys are going through the spreadsheet, you're going to have a lot of questions. I will let the person decide if he wants to tell. tell. Here's the thing: you do not bombard him with questions.
No.
He was gracious enough to give us the spreadsheet. He did not volunteer to answer 100 people's questions.
Mm-hmm.
If you are absolutely stuck and you cannot figure it out, send me a direct message. Do not fire off questions if you can't figure it out on the first time.
Mm-hmm.
I will have people send me a direct message on Twitter at 8 in the morning that says, "What book has the best line on this play?" And 5 hours later, I'll respond and they'll say thanks. Instead of just taking 2 minutes to look at all their different books and figure out. They want me to do that. I don't do that anymore. So, if, if you have a question that you absolutely cannot figure out, it's probably on here. Worst case scenario, send me a message, not the person that did it. Like I said, I will let him decide if he wants to tell you who he was. But if he does, do not send him
Be nice.
any questions. Be very nice. What we'll do is we'll probably get a month or so on there, and I will ask him to come on here and show us some even more in-depth details on the spreadsheet. So this is your. I mean, this is your this is your business. Like, the spreadsheet literally is your business. If you're part of this channel and you're part of the Discord and you're part of all of our plays, you're looking at this like a business. So treat it like a business. Put all the numbers in. Put all your plays in. Even if they lose, you've got to be able to track those. It's such a game changer to know what's working and know what's not working. I will never forget. Justin, no way anyone DM'd me with that question. I get it every week. Every single week.
Justin, I've seen them. I've seen them. It happens.
It happens every week.
Every week.
All the time.
Every week.
So I have a friend of mine, God bless him, Sacker. You know, I've mentioned him. He will call me to ask about what book has the best line. Pick up the phone and call me. All right. So anyways.
Andy, real quick before you move on, just Shane said, I've been writing things down in a notebook. I grabbed this before we came on just to prove a point. And this is my point. I had an NFL and an MMA yellow pad. Okay. I know my glare is killing everybody right now, but here's the MMA one. What's written on top? Be smart, right? Putting your losing plays into this spreadsheet is the equivalent to writing be smart. You're going to have to look at it. Something bad happened the week before for me to say be smart, right?
Yeah.
I have 3 of these. This is the next step, okay? Even if you're successful and you're doing things this way, you need a spreadsheet now, okay? So winning in the shadows, what we're doing, trying to help everybody step up their game. Take this seriously, okay? Take it seriously and you will not regret it.
The other thing that the spreadsheet does is, if you commit to putting here's what I recommend, and this is going to be hard because breaking some of the habits that a lot of us either have had or have right now is really, really important. There's a reason why 99% of people lose money. If you commit to saying, I have to put this bet into the spreadsheet before I'm allowed to bet it on my sports book, you will talk yourself out of so many bets that end up losing.
Yes,
I promise you. If you are forced to just not willy-nilly grab your phone and be like, oh, I think I'm going to play the Dolphins. If you have to go back or go to your spreadsheet first, if you make that a rule that I have to put this play in the spreadsheet before I hit submit or place bet, you will end up being way more picky with your plays, which is always going to be a good thing. I implore you all to adopt that strategy. I cannot bet a play unless I actually type it into this spreadsheet. It is like a filter that will save you a lot of losing bets. I promise you that. So, um, let's see. I think that was about it. Jim, was there anything that you thought was a little bit confusing or?
I mean, look, I'm very easily confused when it comes to technology, so it's going to be just something where I would suggest when you guys go to do this, find yourself a nice little quiet time. All right, don't try to multitask and set this thing up
Yeah.
because if you mess up, you're going to waste a lot of time. So
Yeah.
yeah, I will be locked away in the tower
Yes.
doing this, no interruptions, and just get it right on the first time. I think it's very important. It's very simple when you really look at it, and if I can figure it out, you guys can figure it out. Trust me. It's a little overwhelming. It's at the start. You'll be fine. You'll be fine.
You'll be fine, and we got a
Mhm.
whole community of people
Yep.
to work with. So, live bets, yeah. If you have to fire off a live bet, yeah, you're not going to be able to put it in there. But that's not a reason to just say, well, I'll just fire off a bunch of live bets, and
Mhm.
that way I
Well,
don't have to put them in the spreadsheet.
well,
Even if you,
he's got in there takedown live. Like if we do a live bet and takedown live, can't you just go back and reset it in there? There's a
yeah,
good
you'll have to submit the
right.
play and then put it in the spreadsheet. But like, just
Mhm.
commit to it. So,
Like if you're gonna put live bets in there, you got to put all your live bets in there. So when you've bet a fighter like 5 times throughout
every
a
single
fight, and then
fight,
he loses, you got to put all 5 of those bets in. All right, even if they're
absolutely.
L's.
Absolutely. That is absolutely. You got to put every single thing
Mhm.
in there. So, um, all right, all right. I don't think we should have. I'll let you guys ask a few questions in the chat, but I think that's pretty
Mhm.
self-explanatory. Again, I'm going to keep repeating myself. Follow the steps and go slow. Um, let's see. If today, let's see, what's if today was your first day betting and you want to bet 1% of the, should you include your pending future bets in determining your starting bankroll? All right. So when you go to settings, you got all your books in there. When you go to deposits, you're gonna put let's see, do the come on deposits. There we go. Um, when you put deposits, you put what your balance is right now, not the pending bets.
Mhm.
Because when you go to bets, you're going to put all of your pending bets that you have in there. So, for example, I did one of the videos, Brock
Rock Bowers.
Bowers.
Mhm.
Yeah, Brock Bowers under 4.5 TD catches. Okay. Bet type, that is a future for the season. That came from Andy. That was, I believe, a 2%. I bet $150 on it. The odds were minus 110. And because it's a future, you're just going to leave in the win column P for pending.
Mhm.
Okay? I believe the pending plays are all in yellow. So all your futures are just going to be yellow till the end of the season. And then when they get graded, you go back and you grade them to did it win? No.
Mhm.
And then it changes color to white. Yes, changes color to white. But while it's pending, it's going to be yellow so you can see all of those. But you don't put the pending bets as part of your original deposit because this takes into account all how much money you have tied up in your pending bets, if that makes sense. All
I
right.
got it.
Got it? Okay. So, in the Discord channel, I am going to create a new channel and it's just going to be called Spreadsheet. The link will
Mhm.
be in there and we'll put the discussion in there. Again, do not ask questions unless you've spent a lot of time trying to figure out and you've done your due diligence. So,
Make your own mistakes.
make it.
Yeah,
Honestly,
honestly, make your own
you'll
mistakes.
fumble your
Figure
way
it out.
through it. It
Yep.
is the best way. You're like, oh, I screwed up that line. I better not do that again. Like just get spend. I'm guessing it'll take most of you 15 to 20 minutes to get this set up before you start putting your bets in, or any pending bets that you have. So the other the other thing that this will do is, I think a lot of you will be surprised how many bets you're making.
I was just gonna go there. Yep, yep. You gotta enter everyone in. You're not gonna fire away a bunch of stupid plays. You have to enter
If
in.
you go in, if you start going, you're like, oh my god, look at all these bets I got to put in every single day. You'll realize that you'll probably be very very surprised.
Well, we had 7 last week, right?
We had
7.
seven
So we
total.
have 7 entries to put in. If you just bet nothing else but but the client plays, you have seven lines to fill out. It's not
And you
that
were
big.
up 13 units.
Yeah, exactly.
So, uh, Nick wants to know about the unit recommendations somewhere in the Discord. This has been a battle that I have lost. I freely admit I have lost the battle. Everyone does the units different. I have learned that over the years that I could recommend whatever, but everyone is going to do their own thing. I have moved to flat betting, to where I bet the same percentage of my bankroll on every bet.
Me as well, by the way.
Okay, all right.
Yeah.
For our percentages and for our winning record, we have to use the wager talk percentages that they give us. They're pretty similar. The flat betting is actually very very similar to the percentages. The biggest difference for me with flat betting is I just find I have a little bit less anxiety when they're all kind of the same, and I can go into a week going, if we just have a winning record,
You're good.
I'm gonna be pretty good. So that's kind of what I do. If my ultimate recommendation, if you're doing the wager talk percentages, is half. So if we have a 5% play, I recommend you do it to win 2.5. If you have a 3% play, you're doing it to win 1.5. But again, it's up to you. Some people really like firing away big. Some people are very, very cautious and conservative. And there's a lot of people on social media, you see, nope, every bet's 1 unit, 1%. I'm not betting any more than 1 unit. So you have to figure out where's your comfort level at. But like we say, if you are terrified of a bet, you've probably bet too much on it. You can be your own filter, if that makes sense. So, and that's kind of why I moved to flat betting, where some weeks I was just like, why am I so terrified about these 2 bets and then the other 7? Yes.
I'll be right back.
Yeah, sure.
Just
Sure. So that's what I recommend with the units. But again, I have just learned that everybody does units their own way. So my recommendation is, if you're using the wager talk, half of those. For me, I will bet the same amount on each bet. So, all right. I don't think there was anything else. Does anyone have any questions? What's up, Hector?
hey, buddy.
No, I don't bet 1 unit. I bet more, but that's my personal preference. This is where you guys have to figure out what works best for you. I can recommend it, but you guys have to figure out what's best for you and your bankroll and your comfort level. There are some people that are just like they're like, I'm firing away, man. Everything's 5%. I have heard that really really low volume bettors, like guys that are like, I only need 1 or 2 plays a week, they're betting 5, 6, 7% of their bankroll. Why? Because they only have 2 bets that week. If you're high volume, you definitely need to bet way less
Yes.
than that. So
Yes. Yeah. The whole. No matter what you say, and people even do it with a 5% play, where as soon as they see a 5%, whether they like it or not, or it's something they purchased, they'll just throw 10% on it. Well, like, oh, it must win. Well, got to pick the right ones, guys.
yeah, yes.
Got to pick the right ones.
So on the settings worksheet, you can change from American to decimal. Okay. So yes, if you're where's the where's it at? If I scroll to the right. Oh, I get it. Okay, so if you want to change to the decimal, you can. If you're fine with the American odds, then you can use that. So, um, alrighty, alrighty. Okay, I think that's about it. I think that's all we got for tonight.
Real quick, we just got to lay out what we have. I mean, we have 2 weeks here till things get a little nutty.
Okay, sure.
So going forward here, I mean, again, we've been this low volume, no MMA, UFC wise. PFL is going to be on a break.
Yep.
Just want to caution everybody. I've seen a lot of chatter about looking into these other fight leagues. Just be careful, okay? Be careful. I just spoke to a UFC fighter that I know, and he was just commentating on a lower regional MMA fight, and he was talking about these rule differences that they had, of stuff he never heard of before, like standing 8 counts in MMA. And he's sitting there doing commentary, like, what is going on? I don't understand any of this. Grounded opponents, when a fighter's grounded and you're on top of them, there's no strikes to the head. It's only for the
Yeah.
body. So, like, just be cautious. When sports take a break, don't feel the desire that you have to find something else. MMA is my main sport. I'm not looking at LFA. I'm not going to go look at one. I'm just not. Like, I have what works for me and I'm going to stick to it. So I just wanted to caution everyone, be careful. And next thing you know, we're going to be in NFL season and NHL will be back and everything else. So, I mean, just be prepared.
Yeah, the board bets. I've always said this. Board bets, BORED, like just betting when you're bored, and drunk bets are like the biggest drain on people's bankrolls. Like, I'm not pretty bored. I'll just bet on the Orioles game. It was like, do you even know who's pitching?
Yeah.
Like,
You know
like
it's
I know it's
raining?
on TV, but
You know the game's
so
canceled because it's raining?
yeah. So, yeah, the board bets and the drunk bets stay away. Can you explain what the 5% bet means? Yeah, so on Wager Talk, which is where all of our plays are, we can rate things like 1% all the way up to 5%. 5% is the max percentage that we can put the play at. So when we put out plays, they just have these different percentages on the different plays. So that's what we put the percentage of, and that percentage is generally what percentage of your bankroll do you bet. So if we have a 5% play, I recommend you take whatever 2.5% of your bankroll is, and that's what you're betting to win. So, let's see here. Oh yeah, okay. So here it is. So if you go to settings, you can change the odds. Indonesian odds.
We got rubies. We can set it to rubies.
This is great. This is so great. So, yeah. So, all right. I am going to put the link in the Discord channel, and we will go from there. But again, take your time, and please follow the steps. So, all right. Yeah, so we got college football this week. I will start with team totals. My last year I did one team total a week, 13-4. We went in college football, so it was just a nice little add, a couple units here or there. NFL, the futures are up. We'll start getting a little bit more NFL heavy on content this week, and then of course ramping up next week. NFL plays. I mean, we just like so. Sometimes there'll be weeks where we have a bunch of plays, and then there'll be weeks where we only have a couple. So the schedule is going to be a little bit wonky at times. Like I think it was an opening weekend. There's a Thursday, a Friday,
Yes, there is.
Sunday, Monday. So
Typical NFL. They're trying to take one day and stretch it into 3.
and 4,
Just
and
like
then
the draft,
5.
it's now 3 days and it's ridiculous.
Yeah. So yes, my team total of the week. Yeah, college football. So yeah, that's kind of what to expect. We'll be doing Sunday morning shows. That will be awesome. We did those on the Wager Talk channel. I think the plan is we're going to do them live on the Winning in the Shadows YouTube channel this year. So you guys can join us live, and we'll go through all the props and all the things that we're looking at on Sunday mornings. I know that was a big hit for everybody. So, but yeah, no UFC this weekend, which I got to tell you, I'm actually
Nice.
kind of happy about. Almost because it's a natural break when we're on a really big hot streak.
Hmm.
And I was going over numbers in MMA and UFC, and it's a pretty incredible run we've been on in that sport. And it's just like, what's the card that we're going to get destroyed on? And then we don't have a card coming up, so that'll be that'll be good. What else is upcoming? You think of anything? I mean, NBA and NHL will start up.
Yeah, NHL start up. Formula One's still going. Nothing really. No, I mean, I would say NASCAR, but NASCAR's been very hit or miss. Playoffs are
Mm-hmm.
starting. We might be able to find some good angles in the playoffs with some playoff drivers versus drivers that aren't. But I'm not counting on it.
Sure.
Um, that's really it. Just find your role in NFL and roll with it. Have a strategy and plan it out and go from there. Me and Andy have been talking a couple times about my strategy with NFL this year. It's going to be very offbeat, off the beaten path.
Yeah, and
Doesn't
that's
have the
that's
best
that's where
bets.
the money is.
Mhm.
That is
Well,
absolutely where the
there you
money
go.
is.
Soccer, tennis, darts. Corbin's going to be busy.
Yep.
The big joke is we always say, Corbin, get in your cage. You got 190 tennis matches to watch.
4 times a
Yep,
year,
yep,
Corbin
yep.
Corbin gets absolutely bombarded with tennis bets. Yeah, darts. I got to tell you, Corbin, I really hope darts is on the same trajectory as lacrosse, which is I think in a
Mhm.
couple years there's going to be a lot more events to bet on. Like a few years ago, there wasn't much you could do with lacrosse, but now lacrosse is like you got college, then you got the
Yeah,
PLL, then you got you got the indoor coming up, and I think darts is going to be a big one because correct me if I'm wrong, Corbin. It used to just be that big the worlds in December, and that was kind of it. Then this year, that league, the Thursday league, just
gold mine,
explodes.
gold mine.
So yeah. So hopefully we can keep those sports on the right track because the more events they give us, the more chances we have to bet. And if you have not bet with us, we're called Winning in the Shadows for a reason. We bet a lot of things that are off the beaten path. Why?
Mhm.
Because the books are not keeping track of those numbers nearly as good as they are as like NBA spreads and MLB spreads and NFL spreads and
What do
things
you think
like
the most
that.
oddball thing is we've off-brand thing we've bet on all year? Just out of curiosity.
What's
Before
the
we,
most oddball?
what's the most random thing that we cashed a ticket on so far this year?
Well, you called me about the hot dog eating
Oh, that's
contest in the
right.
weather and the
That's right.
and it get cashed easily. Um,
That's right.
um, I mean, as for clients, I mean, the weirdest thing is, we'll have a cross sport parlay that'll have a
Yeah.
darts play,
Yeah.
a UFC play,
Mhm.
and a Formula One play. And like if you have a bet with us, you're looking at like what in the hell is this? And then it hits, and then you realize that Shane, if you're still there, I told Shane you're gonna love betting lacrosse,
Yeah.
and
That's right.
sure enough, he loves betting lacrosse.
Mhm.
The player props and those things they're a little weird, but lacrosse is a great example. We have Dan on our team who knows lacrosse very well, and he gets these plays and these lines, and the lines are really soft. They put out numbers and they put out lines that are so much more bettable and gettable than some of the main sports. So there's Shane. I love lacrosse now. So yeah, that's what winning in the shadows is. So in football season, don't be surprised when you see some plays that are very much off the beaten path here. So like you're probably not going to see player props with us like Patrick Mahomes over 315 passing yards. You're going to see the no-name tight end for Cincinnati to get over 1.5 catches, like things like that.
Mhm.
So YouTube boxing, Corbin hit a
Yes.
YouTube boxing play. So Speaking of YouTube boxing, I actually did on Wager Talk today, Jim. I did Renan Ferreira over over Francis Ngannou.
It's time.
I went back and
It's time.
do you realize Ngannou hasn't done an MMA fight in 2.5 years?
The amount of spite that I have for myself that I didn't hit the line when it first came out is that it's nauseating day to day. At
I
this
know.
point, I'm like, oh, why didn't we?
And
You
not
know,
for nothing, he is 0-2 in boxing and just got put on his ass.
by a guy who's not a knockout artist.
Knocked out
Let's not
cold.
forget.
And so now he's just going to jump right back into MMA against 6'8" Ferreira. No way. So, yeah, so I did. I
That's a
did
good
talk about that one. All right. About an hour, so that's good enough. I put in the Discord the spreadsheet that is up there. Again, follow the instructions. And I don't think I have anything else. We're going to go for 10 straight weeks. We have that $5 Dana White Contender Series play that is still up for the rest of tonight. Then it goes to regular price. So yeah, if you haven't gotten that, go ahead and get on that. So anything else, Jim?
That's it. That's it. Great show. A lot of good info. Gonna rest my voice up for the next live videos.
Jim
You
needs
ready
a
to rock.
good night of sleep. He needs a good night of sleep. So, all right, guys, that's going to do it for us. Hit the like button, subscribe, leave us a comment. Helps the algorithm out. You guys know all that. Thanks for joining us. And we will be live on the Winning in the Shadows tomorrow for Dana White Contender Series. So, wonky night of fights. There's one, to me, clear bet. The rest of the fights are pretty tough tomorrow, but we're gonna have our normal Tuesday fun. So,
We'll have some good stories. We never got to my Sopranos story on the last video. We'll
oh yeah, that's right.
carry that over. We got some good chatter to talk about.
Absolutely. All right, guys, have a good night. We'll see everyone tomorrow. Winning in the Shadows.
Thanks, guys.